My name is Pablo Corral Vega, and I photograph the story on tango. Tango is the music of the immigrants that populated Buenos Aires and Montevideo at the beginning of the 20th century. Even though I grew up in Ecuador, I remember listening to tango since I was a child. My mother played passionate tangos on the piano, and my uncle sang with such an emotion that the tunes and words settled in my imagination. But it was not until I visited Buenos Aires in the early 90s that I really fell in love with the spirit of tango. Between 1865 and 1914, the population of Buenos Aires swelled from 150,000 to 1.5 million. Most of the immigrants came from Europe, and Italy in particular. In the slums and in the red light districts, there occurred a fusion of musical styles. Blacks gave tango the vibrant rhythms and the proximity of the bodies. Jewish settlers added the violin, German immigrants the bandoneon, the king of all tango instruments, the absolute king, Italians the haunting melodies of Sicily, and Spanish the sometimes joyful, sometimes mournful intensity of the Andalusian tango. I took 5 trips to Argentina and Uruguay to photograph this article on tango. I saw how the economy deteriorated. In 1999, it almost seemed that Argentina was becoming a first world country, but a fixed currency rate 1 peso to $1 was slowly killing the country's capacity to export. When a new government finally decided to lower the value of the local currency to make exports more competitive, it also made everyone 3 or 4 times poorer. I expected tango to suffer, but just the opposite happened. Dance halls had even more people dancing, and tango schools were opening all over. As someone explained to me, dancing tango is inexpensive. You pay $1 entrance to a club and drink a bottle of water, and that's all. When I started to shoot this story, I was convinced that tango is only what one sees in the shows. I was amazed by the complex acrobatics of the dance, the seamless coupling of the dancers, the speedy intermingling of the legs. But I slowly realized that tango has nothing to do with choreographies or shows. It's basically a lifestyle, a way to see the world. The people who really live and dance tango have little in common with those who we have seen portrayed in movies and shows. First of all, if you truly love tango, you dance it for yourself and for your couple, not for others. It's an intimate conversation you have with a friend, with an acquaintance, with a complete stranger, with a lover, with your wife or husband. But it's a unique form of conversation because it uses the body, not words. When you enter one of the dance halls of Montevideo or Buenos Aires, you're actually entering a different time frame, a parallel world. The music you hear on the loudspeakers is usually from old and scratched records from the 1930s and 1940s. People dance slowly, carefully, like if their life depended on the concentration and intensity with which they move every muscle. And yet everyone seems totally relaxed. Movements are easy. Many have their eyes closed, and thus the dance floor is a space that is sacred only for dancers. You can find a place to dance tango almost at any time of the day or night, any day of the week. The rules of the dance are complex and take years to master, but there are a number of other rules that apply to the dance halls or milongas, as people call them. For example, a man never walks up to a woman to ask her to dance. He scans the room with his eyes. When a woman is interested, she will look back. Only when the eyes have met and the two prospective dance partners have nodded slightly, the man will walk to the woman and ask her to dance. The codes of tango are carefully guarded by the old-timers. But the only rule, the rule that can't be broken, is that you let your heart rule every movement. In other words, you have to feel first and then move your feet and hands. Your movements are an expression of your feelings. Otherwise, you're not dancing tango.